President Trump says he's putting Washington, D.C. police under federal control. At a news conference this morning, he said he invoked an executive order to declare a crime emergency so his administration could take over.
This comes after he said last week he was considering ways for the federal government to seize control after the recent assault of a member of DOJ. Some are questioning the decision given crime statistics there.
This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back.
President Trump says he's deploying 800 members of the National Guard across Washington, D.C. in an effort to reduce crime, despite data showing crime has decreased across the nation's capital in recent years.
You will see them flowing into the streets of Washington in the coming week. At your direction as well, sir, there are other units we are prepared to bring in.
The mayor of D.C. weighed in.
While this action today is unsettling and unprecedented, I can't say that given some of the rhetoric of the past, that we're totally surprised.
Police statistics show violent crime in the nation's capital is down 26% compared with this time a year ago.
We're at a 30-year violent crime low.
The group, Free D.C., rallied outside as the president spoke.
This is not about crime. This is about control. This is not about public safety. This is about power.
Mr. Trump also said he planned to look at New York City.
We have other cities that are very bad. New York has a problem.
A spokesperson for Mayor Eric Adams responded that some of the most violent crimes are at record lows here, writing in part that New York City, quote, doesn't need any help from our federal counterparts in driving down crime. We are doing it on our own every single day. The president also talked about the homeless.
We have slums here. We're getting rid of them. I know it's not politically correct. You'll say, oh, so terrible. No, we're getting rid of the slums where they live.
He did not provide any specifics, but the Secretary of the Interior says,
since President Trump's executive order on March 27th, making D.C. safe and beautiful again, the U.S. Park Police have removed over 70 homeless camps.
Well, President Trump did not give a timetable for federal control of the police department. Under the act, he is limited to 30 days unless Congress authorizes it for longer.
And the president's decision is playing out in the mayor's race here, with the president's ominous warning that New York could be next.
That's right. Political reporter Marcia Kramer is here now with that part of the story. Marcia?
Well, Alice and Dick, this is the latest salvo from President Trump, who clearly has made no bones about possible consequences if New Yorkers elect Zohran Mamdani. And tonight, Andrew Cuomo added to the discourse with his own dire warning. Andrew Cuomo is finding his voice on social media, swiftly warning New Yorkers about possible fallout from President Trump's decision to have the National Guard take over the Washington, D.C. Police Department. What you're seeing in D.C. today is exactly what will happen if Zohran Mamdani becomes mayor. Trump will flatten him like a pancake, Cuomo said on social media. In 2020, Trump sent the National Guard into other states, not New York. There's only one person in this race who can stand up to Trump, the one who already has successfully and effectively. New York City can't afford a rookie who needs on-the-job training to fight for us. Cuomo, who has increasingly tried to marshal social media, a Mamdani's strength in his newly rejuvenated campaign, was reacting to the president's threat to use the National Guard in other places where he thinks the leadership is weak.
Then I'm going to look at New York in a little while.
Mamdani, who began the first leg of a 5-borough anti-Trump tour, was unmoved by the threat of the National Guard coming here.
Donald Trump does not respond well to cowardice, to collaboration. He requires a response that showcases the ability to fight back against that same agenda. And that's what I would do if and when he makes these kinds of threats.
This was the second time in 24 hours Cuomo took to social media. He slammed Mamdani for living in a rent-stabilized apartment.
I'm going to propose not rent that apartment by law, except to a person who actually needs affordable housing. And I'm going to call it Zohran's Law.
What do we know about this policy proposal beyond the fact that it seeks to evict me from my apartment?
Cuomo says that under his proposal, when a rent-stabilized apartment becomes available, the rent would be capped to equal 30% of the prospective tenant's income. So, if the apartment rents for $2,500 a month, the new tenant's income could not exceed $100,000. Mamdani pays $2,300 a month for a one-bedroom apartment. His assembly salary is $142,000.
Like so much of Andrew Cuomo's politics, it is characterized by a petty vindictiveness.
Now, to repeat what Alice said, Mayor Adams seemed unconcerned about the Trump National Guard threat, a spokesperson pointing out that the NYPD has broken records in both lowering violent crime and subway crime. And for the record on the rent stabilization issue, other politicians have had rent-stabilized apartments, including former Governor David Paterson, former Congressman Charles Rangel, and former Council Speaker Christine Quinn.
It goes around, those rent-stabilized apartments.
Yes, they do.
Yes. Okay. Thanks, Marcia.